And Little Daddy 391, I see you've already joined us, and good evening. Jesse, good to have you. And Jacob Papa of 6, I see you back. Great to have you here. And Vince Vulture, I love the name, man. Love the name. And Jesse, to answer that question, we've got TAs with DTA coming on tonight, and we also brought Emory back. As you all know, there was some interesting legislation that is being he's got some views on the legislation being discussed, so we definitely have him on, and he's got some thoughts for you. And Drag for Life, good to have you back. Lifelong learners, it's evening here. Ugh, still afternoon where you are. Come on, I know. And Chester and Brian, I'm glad you brought your orange juice. I'm pretty sure Scott has his usual apple juice. All right, we've got 60 seconds before we actually hit that live button and Scott gets started with his monologue. Oh, you need to play the Elvis intro song when Scott arrives. Don't give him those kind of ideas. He'll do it. And you guys can't hear this, but now Scott's talking about introducing himself with the hamster song. I told you this was a bad idea. Bad idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Podocasts, your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door and talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are we doing tonight, Belle?
Oh, I'm looking forward to a fantastic show tonight.
We got it. It's a little different, guys. You know, I had a ball on Tuesday. I really did. Just taking the shackles off and just grabbing the mic. I was having a ball. But you know what? A little bit more. We got a couple guests tonight. We will be getting them. But here on the podcast, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos. Because as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable, and it's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto, and welcome to the Podocasts. So, a couple interesting things happened this week that just never happened. One, DTA sent me a message, and he never sends me messages, man. It is strictly business. So when he sends me something, obviously, you know, oh, look, you have my opinion. I got a message from DTA. So he's got some nifty little TA stuff he wants to send your way. We are more than happy to accommodate him. And I got another message. This one frightens me. All right, this one scared me a little bit. I want you guys to, we're going to play a little game right now. All right, I'm going to be two different people, and you tell me which one frightened you more. Who do we got in the audience, Belle? Give me anybody's name.
Oh, Little Daddy 391.
All right, Little Daddy 391. My name is Agent Scott. I'm with the FBI, and we have some questions for you. All right, that's character one. This character two, right? Little Daddy, my name is Agent Scott, and I'm from the Internal Revenue Service, and we have some questions for you. Now, ask yourself, which one of these scares you more? Which one of these intimidates you a little bit more? Which one makes your spine just freeze? Which one does it? Because if I get a letter, anything that says IRS on it, man, I am running, screaming in terror. You might as well have you might as well have planted a gun on me or something like that. That's how intimidated I am. So when Emory, my tax guy, sends me a message, I get that same cool dread running down my spine. What? Now, Emory sent me a message. So you guys know that we talked about a little bit about the legislation that did not actually get specified in the Senate, but everybody passed it on an up-down. It went down to the House. Anyway, that got me, well, that made my blood run a little bit cold. But when Emory sends me a message saying that this did in fact happen, and he's been drilling down into the legislation, and he really needs to talk to our audience, I imagine you're probably feeling about the way that I'm feeling right now. Because honestly, look, I can read it, but I'm not going to pretend that I understand it. That's why we have an Emory. That's why we have a tax guy, because he understands this. Now, I was going to have a little bit of fun with my monologue like I always do. My monologue is my favorite part, all right? That is my time. And I was going to go on and on about this brilliant insight where I was talking about stablecoins and yeah. But there is no way I can do that monologue with this hanging in the background, meaning Emory wants to talk. So we're not going to. We are going to go straight to Emory. He's taking my monologue. I've never done this before. I've never just given up Scott time. But he seemed so passionate about it. We thought it'd be fun to bring him on. So, Emory, we got Belle on the screen right now. Emory, talk to me.
Evening, Scott.
Good evening, sir. You know what? You got the audience. I think you have their attention. So please tell me what is on your mind. Why did you message me?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be back here. Thanks for having me on. All right. So the infrastructure bill, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, has some meat in it right now. And obviously it's not passed yet, but there have been some, I wouldn't say anything set in stone right now, but there is some pretty compelling arguments that what I'm about to tell you is going to be either exactly or pretty darn close to what's going to be happening in a few weeks when this bill passes through the House and the Senate.
All right. Be nice, man. Look, we don't we're a happy channel, man. Look at I smile all the time. We're a happy place. All right. We
All
are
I
a
bring is good news.
30,000-foot view place. The world is glorious from our altitude. And I got a hunch you're about to shoot the plane down. So go ahead, take it away, man. But I am going to tell you, I told you when we got up here, I'm going to have a go at you this time. All right, I've been letting every guest I bring on, I give them a total pass. I'm going to have a go at you. So come correct. Knock yourself out, man.
All right, let's do this. First of all, there's going to be a $16 billion injection into the IRS over the next 4 years for one particular reason, and that is tracking, reporting, and auditing cryptocurrency transactions. Just for you guys, $16 billion is $4 billion over the next 4 years. And in those next 4 years, we're going to be talking about four things. The first thing is that there's talk about needing to report any kind of cryptocurrency transaction between wallets, either between wallets that you own or wallets that others own. What do you think about that, Scott?
Well, I kind of got a question for you on that one. How are they going to know? That's my question. Say, Emory, say you have a MetaMask wallet and I have a MetaMask wallet, and I send you $15,000 worth of Bitcoin from my wallet to your wallet, purely on the DeFi. It has never touched an exchange. How are they going to know?
Well, plain and simple, they probably won't. And that's something that I'm sure the IRS will have regulations for in no time.
Okay, and again, we'll offer that up. What kind of regulations? Aside from more threats, more fines, more everything, how will they know? And reason that I'm asking this is because I don't really believe in government efficiency. And when you're getting into the DeFi, man, you are getting into stuff that they simply do not understand, that they really can't conceptualize, because if they could conceptualize it, they would have built it. But they can't. This is far and away something that they're capable of tracking. I called it out on that the last pipeline that got hacked, and the government ended up sending them all this Bitcoin. And then like 2 days later, they come back and say, well, we found the Bitcoin, and they returned it all. I have never seen a steaming pile of lies like that. There is no way. If you were capable of tracking down that Bitcoin, you could have secured your own pipeline so that it didn't get hacked. But you know what? I digress. Emory, please carry on. I understand exactly what you're saying. I think it's a little bold, assuming that the government is going to be able to track this. This sounds like a self-incrimination kind of thing. They're going to ask, and I'm going to have to tell. Am I in the ballpark?
Well, something similar happened actually in the Obama era, where transactions were wanting to be tracked throughout every single little electronic transaction through all merchants before the IRS would have to tell you to report it. That administration was basically saying, you are now our mandatory reporter. And that brought in millions and millions more transactions per day, and it eventually fell through because it did not work. So this is something similar, I think. I'm not quite sure how they're going to track it if they say they will, but if it worked anything like that did before almost a decade ago, then I don't suspect they'll have an easy job.
And you know what? I tend to agree with that. We don't do hype and we don't do FUD. So I'm not having to go at you personally. You understand that, sir, right? It's just the argument. That's what we do. I don't attack people. But we don't push hype and we don't push FUD. So I understand what they're trying to do. But there's a universal truth here that for some reason, as soon as it gets printed or it's reported on a station, suddenly it's fact. Passing a law and enforcing a law are radically different things. These are just they're not even the same sport. So I understand what they're doing. I just don't personally believe that they have the capability to do it. Now, they're going to recover some. There are plenty of just up and up people. We don't want trouble. And there are plenty of people that are just going to completely kowtow, bend over, take it. Sure, this is exactly what I did. But I like to think that in crypto, there's probably a pretty good subset that is going to be, you know what? You got to prove my guilt, man. Try it. That's it. You know, the onus of the burden of proof is on you. So go for it. Anyway, sir, I'm sorry. Carry on. Point, counterpoint. Make another point. Let's do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And in conjunction with that, to help them, or at least they think it'll help them do what I was talking about in point number one, the IRS is expanding the definition of what a broker is. So
Oh,
stocks or bonds, you know what your broker is. Now, this may expand to cryptocurrency platforms.
so how is the IRS going to define what a broker is?
So Congress has left how the IRS can regulate that on their own. So what Congress does is that they say, "Hey, IRS, do this," and then IRS says, "Okay, boss, let's do it." And so they basically left that to themselves there. So what I suspect will happen is that anyone who has made some kind of cryptocurrency platform or wallet to distribute amongst their clients may be considered a broker.
So wait a minute. Now I want absolute clarity here, man. This is your wheelhouse. So I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page. So Congress is handing off the ability to create effective legislation with the weight of law to unelected agency that are now going to be just able to pass whatever they happen to want at their own discretion. Is
Um,
that what you're hearing? I want you to be real clear on this.
Yeah, that's how it generally works. The IRS commissioner is appointed by
Mm-hmm.
Congress. And if Congress can't figure it out, they basically leave how that's going to be enforced up to the IRS. And often many definitions that are unclear to Congress are defined by the IRS, not Congress.
But again, these are unelected officials. These are people. These are appointed officials. Most of them political appointments. So these political appointments, who really you're giving them the guns basically on something like this, that they would have the weight of law to seize assets, to take infrastructure, to pull the stuff down, and they don't even know what the hell it is. So when it's coming their way, they can't even define it. I understand it. It's one of the things that absolutely terrifies me about this is the fact that you are so vested in your job that you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. But you're going to pass it anyway, hand it off to the IRS and say, have a go. Am I in the ballpark on this, Emory?
Yeah, it sounds about right, Scott.
Yeah, okay. I'm loving that. Go ahead, man. Carry on.
Yeah, sure. And those along those lines, there'll also be some legislation saying that if you transfer or have one purchase of more than $10,000 worth U.S. dollars worth of crypto, you may have to file what's called a cash transaction report, or what's more commonly known as a suspicious transaction report.
So when I move crypto from my private anonymous wallet to another private anonymous wallet, I have to report it.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm going to come back to burden of proof. How are they
Sure.
going to find out? How are they going to track it?
Well, that all depends on who you're transacting with. And I'll give you a good example here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're going to go buy a motorcycle that is $15,000, and you decide to pay all in cash. Now, Harley Davidson is going to file that cash transaction report for you. They're mandatory to do that if it's over $10,000. Now, because they can't track it themselves, the IRS, they rely on the banks and the merchants to do that for them. Now, if they have a suspicion that you may be transferring cash or Bitcoin equivalent in excess of $10,000, they are relying on your voluntary compliance to file that form.
Voluntary compliance. Okay. No, we're cool. I love voluntary compliance. I know a little bit about crypto. I know a little bit about how crypto moves from point A to point B to point C. It's kind of my thing. So as far as the voluntary compliance goes, you know what? Because I'm doing a public channel and my face and my name is on it, You know what? You should always follow the law. Whatever it says, whatever it states, whatever your burden is, you should always follow it 100%. You should never actually know what you're dealing with. Therefore, you can follow whatever law is put on. So if this is ever brought up as evidence against me sometime in the future, I want to make sure it's clear that, look, I agree with Emory. Whatever the man says, I 100% agree. I have something in my eye. That's all that is. All right, Emory, carry on, man.
Yeah, one more thing. And actually, before that, I wanted to delve into voluntary compliance. Voluntary doesn't mean you get to choose, by the way. It means that the government is letting you choose to do it before they do it for you. So just to clarify.
But once again, now you've been in this stuff. You've been in the courts. You've done all of this. So I understand what you're saying about voluntary compliance and if the government itself is going to do it on my behalf. I don't believe that the government has the ability to track from my anonymous wallet to your anonymous wallet. They can't do it. I don't see how. None of this is tied to our names. So unless we went on and publicly we live streamed it, now look what we're doing. I don't see how they can do it. And I'm going to go back to passing a law and enforcing a law. You know what? It's been illegal. The black market in the United States has been illegal always, but we still have one. It still exists. Everybody knows this. You know what? I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I don't like to deal in absolutes. Reasonable, rational people are aware that there is something called an underground market. It does exist. It still happens. Drugs are illegal in the country. You cannot purchase them. So that would be saying that none exist, that drug transactions don't occur in the United States. Passing a law and enforcing a law are going to be radically, radically different things. And when you're comparing something like crypto, which you got to admit is extremely esoteric, we still have people buying AMP that don't know how to stake it. They have no idea. They don't know what a DeFi wallet is. They don't, probably a lot of them don't have it. They come to our channel. They post comments. How do I stake? How do I stake? So these are people who are financially invested in this that don't know how to pull it off the exchange, put it in their own wallet, and move it from there. So to imagine that the government suddenly has this full ability to recover the Bitcoin that they paid to the pipeline hackers, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I understand exactly what you're saying, sir, and I agree with every single word. This is their intent. I just personally, I don't see how they have that ability. But I will go on record and say that when the law passes, whatever is required of you as a crypto investor, it will make your life easier if you simply follow the, I got something in my eye again. If you simply follow the laws as written. Emory, if he's your tax guy, he's going to tell you, give to the point of night sweats. Just make them go away. Am I wrong here, Emory? Where am I? I don't want to put words in your mouth. You're on the show, man. Say it for yourself.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue because as you stated really well, there's a difference between passing a law and enforcing it. And enforcing something like this is not going to be easy. Do I believe they can do it? Well, I'm going to go ahead and say maybe.
That's a good answer, man. You know what? I am going to say with beyond a shadow of a doubt that it will either rain or not rain tomorrow, and I'm going to be correct. Emory, look, you're on my show, man. We don't do half measures here. I want you to go on record. Can they do it or can they not do it at this time? We're also pragmatists. Can they do it or can they not do it?
Practically speaking, they've done something like this before. Many people who are familiar with crypto understand what the Silk Road was. I assume you're familiar, Scott.
A little bit.
So the Silk Road was an underground, basically way of transacting illegal transactions without any kind of recourse. People bought drugs, prostitutes, and there's even child trafficking there. And the government agency that busted it wasn't the CIA, it wasn't the FBI, it was the IRS.
The same, it was the Treasury Department are the ones that got Capone. So, it always comes down to a follow the money kind of thing.
All that was done via cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and they found a way to track who was transacting what in these anonymous in these anonymous wallets.
For clarity on this one, they didn't digitally do it. They didn't electronically do it. They didn't crack it. They got one guy and he dimed out everybody else. That's what it is. So there is no we suddenly have a name on the blockchain. There was none of that. They got a guy and he dimed out everybody else. All right, it's not exactly unique here. Would you give us, you know what? Hey, you tell us everything you know, and we'll go easy on you. Again, this is not a unique case, man. This is fact here, man. We tend to deal with fact on the channel. I understand what you're saying, but that's what happened. And they didn't nail Capone like that either. They found somebody who gave him up. They didn't understand his books. They didn't know what the hell it was. They got someone and he gave them up. This is fact. But it's kind of how it works. And I kind of see something like that coming around if they decide to do this. And they're going to do it. This law will get passed. It will be absolutely ham-fisted. They have no idea how to apply it. They just want the authority. They will pass it off to the Treasury Department, to the IRS, to all of the other alphabet agencies. You say, you know what, go forth, boys. Do well. Fight the good fight. Nothing is going to stop this. This will absolutely happen. But what are they going to do with it? I guess that's kind of where I'm at. Oh, something in my eye again. All right, Emory, is there something else that you had to say, or are you about wrapping up?
Yeah, and you may have a point there. They may not necessarily need to understand how it works. They just need to, find a guy.
They just need to find a guy, put the screws to him, and he will explain it. This is not a unique case. So for those, okay, go.
There's introduction to understanding that there might be available wash sales in cryptocurrency. So if you don't know what a wash sale is, it's when you sell some kind of asset, your property, for X amount because it was going down, you didn't like the price, and then you bought it within 30 days later again at a very similar price. Those two transactions effectively wash each other out, bringing it down to a zero balance. That's very common with day traders, and they're bringing that legislation into cryptocurrency more than likely.
Well, that's legal though, isn't it? Wash sales?
So far, it's unclear with cryptocurrency, but they're thinking about making it law here.
You see, I wouldn't like that. As a scalper, I would absolutely not like that. That doesn't benefit me. That brings no benefit to me. All that brings is sudden extra risk and accountability. Yeah, I don't like that. Where are you seeing that, or are you speculating that?
Oh no, that is in the bill.
Damn it! All right, guys, you heard it here. You heard it here on the podcast, man. Emory, is that it? Or could I just say thank you for coming here and just taking the wind out of everybody's sails? If you continue to do this, nobody's going to want to see you back on this show. It's going to be like when you text me. All of a sudden, it's like seeing red and blue lights behind you when you're driving. You're like, damn it. That's going to be, hey, guys, we got Emory with us tonight on the podcast. Everyone's just, nope, click. Don't want to see it. I don't need this in my life. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Emory, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, Belle, go ahead and put Emory's email out there. Look, Emory is a straight-up, straight-laced tax guy, and he knows the business. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or observations, something you want to send his way, his email's up there, man, and he's going to answer your questions. We're not pitching anything, and he's not charging anything. You guys do you, and I'm going to leave it right there. So, again, Emory, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us, man. I didn't need this tonight. I would have been more happy. I would have been happy just talking about stable coins. You know what? Hey, guys, stable coins, good idea. It seems so shallow now. Everything I was going to do, it just seems like there's no point. So, Belle, do we got DTA ready?
DTA is on, and as soon as he unmutes his mic, yes, he's ready.
Okay. All right, guys. Look, please give me 60 seconds. You know what I need. You know what Daddy needs right now. Because after hearing that, man, I'm just, what's the point? That's it. Look, what's the point?
Send some of that apple juice my way. Emory, sorry, love you, man, but ouch.
Damn. I know. That's all you can say is damn. And people have been pulling up our videos lately and counterpointing them. What do they call that? Bell, we saw that. We saw that one. They just run our videos and then they do a counterpoint to like everything I say. So I want to see him do this one. I'm ready for him to pick Emory apart. That's why, that's why I don't have to. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please give me 60 seconds, we are going to be right back with TA by DTA. He's got some fun ones tonight. So thank you, and
we'll be right back.
And ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I give the show over to TA with DTA. Take it away, babe. It's all you.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick, and hopefully you guys can see that. And I definitely do want to apologize to the entire community. Today it's been a long ass day. I did not have time to make a video, but of course I had time to, create my daily analysis post on the Reddit sub. So make sure that you guys subscribe to the AMP token subreddit if you haven't already. Now, Scott, do we have my screen up? All right, cool. So, all right, for today, of course, we're going to be talking about AMP, and then we're going to be talking about a few other tokens. We're going to talk about Scale. We're also going to talk about WinLink and one other token that may be a surprise for you guys. So, looking at AMP on the daily chart, we can see that structurally we are looking fine, right? We did have this massive impulse, and we pulled back with this bull flag. We respected it, and then we jumped out of it, and now we're moving sideways. Now, this is pretty normal anytime a market jumps out of a bull flag, right? This sideways consolidation is a huge value area, right? And what I mean by value area is that people are accumulating AMP. And we can see it just by turning on our VPVR indicator, right? So basically, this long volume indicator right here is letting us know that this is where people are interacting with AMP. And this red line from it lets us know that people are buying in. So we can literally use certain indicators just to figure out where people are buying and where people think the price is the most valuable to buy. Now, if we zoom into the 4-hour chart, we can also see that, we've been pretty much ranging in between this 0.068 and 0.058 range for quite some time, right? You can see right here, we have our floor price. We also have our resistance, right? Anytime we spike up, we come back down, right? So I think that a lot of people, they may have they may have let their emotions get the best of them when we did see this, this run up of AMP that happened on August 11th, right? But again, we are in this ranging market. So we're going to continue to go up and we're going to continue to go down until we break out or until we break below it. But I don't expect us to fall below it because structurally on the daily chart, we do have a bull flag and we have pulled back and we've been moving sideways, right? So do we have any questions about AMP, Scott?
No, man, we talk about AMP all the time. This is the AMP channel. I come here, I bring it, man. Now, I bring a 30,000-foot view. This is a ground level view. I see value in both. I really do see value in both. But I'm sorry, man. Look, AMP is it's it's just a solid thing, man. So, no, I got no questions.
Solid.
Yeah, you carry on, man.
Okay, cool. So that's what we have for AMP. And again, guys, AMP is a use case token. We don't want this bad boy tied to speculation. So next, let's hop into Scale. For those of you who don't know what Scale is, oh my God, I encourage you to look into Scale. Consensus partner, right? So taking a look at Scale on the daily, right? This is live TA that we're doing, right? Let's use our fib retracement from this downfall to the bottom to see what's been going on, right? I think it's always good to zoom out to get the big picture, right? So we had this downfall, we had this, point of preliminary support right here, and we actually put in a double bottom, right? So we have two touches. Double bottoms are super bullish, letting us know that a reversal to the upside is happening, right? And we can see we've been trending nicely, right? It's a nice trend going upward. We actually managed to, go upward and get above the fib 0.236, letting us know that we've actually came up price-wise 26% from the bottom, right? And this is really good. We see that this trend is nice, and we do have some preliminary support right here at this next fib level. Now, taking a look at scale on the intraday charts, the 4-hour, we can see, some really nice things going on. Let's take out our trend line and, just follow how scale has been trending. This is like pretty much the ideal trend that I think anybody wants to see, right? We can see that this has been trending nicely. Whoops. Let's get our trend line back from the bottom all the way up to where we are right now and extend that, right? You always want to extend your trend lines because that sort of gives you an indicator of where we could be going. Now, I personally did invest in scale today. Why? Because we are right at the bottom of the trend.
Why just today, man? I gotta ask, dude. I know this is your time, but I gotta ask. When I started really heavily pitching this, right? It was follow your line all the way out to the other side. Look, man, to Nahali, IMA, man, this thing just has nothing but good news written all over it. And I understand that it's a small player, man, but it ain't going to stay small. This is the Cardano. They roll it out slowly and meticulously. And when it goes, everything is ready. They don't pivot and try to plug the hole. They release it without holes. You know what? I'm sorry, man. Look, I'm taking your...
Oh, no, you're good. And I mean, to answer your question, why did I invest in it today? I mean, simple, right? We came down and we touched our trend line again. So, the only direction to go from here is up. And I think that, in the short term, we will be touching this 37 cents mark, right? Which will probably put us at let's see how much we gain, a 26% gain from here, right? So we can probably expect this move to happen sometime over the next week. But I mean, just look at this trend line. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7 touches. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it's not that, man. I was saying, why didn't you jump on it when I told you at 16 cents? I said, hey, man, this is going. Denali's coming out. It's solid. It's gonna go, man. This is not.
I did.
Okay. All right.
I'm just scalping this bad boy, just like you. So I'm catching these swings to the upside. I'm selling when it's pulling back.
All right. You know what?
When it touches the trend line. And
yeah.
It's pulling back.
You're making my heart proud, man. All right, babe. Carry on.
All right, cool. So that's what we have for scale. Again, I think that right now is a great entry point. In the short term, we should be touching this 37 cents mark before going all the way back to our all-time high of, drum roll please, $1.27. So yeah.
Wait a minute. I want you on record here, man. Are you saying, you know what? We've had these discussions, ladies and gentlemen of the podcast, all right? Me and DTA, we have a lot of these discussions. DTA is in a double tough space because everybody is a freaking TA. I mean, it is just inundated. YouTube is inundated with chart guys. I mean, it is everywhere. Everyone's a freaking TA. So I like DTA because he keeps it real. Now, I'm asking you, man, all right? This is how we break you out. You don't have to answer this question, and I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot. Where do you see it in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, I see scale touching 37 cents.
All right, Bell, write that down.
That's being modest. That's
modest. Bell, I want you to write that down. So you guys, look, man, we are going to be keeping track because I want to come back and say the TA for the Podocasts has hit on 84% of his predictions. I want to put that on there and say, look at what our guy's doing. So I understand that you have a guy. We have a guy who's right. That's what I want. That's what I want to do for you, man. All right, carry on, man.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it, Scott. And just kind of measuring this out from when we did hit our bottom again, coming up to, you know, this next fib extension level, it took a total of 18 days for that to happen. And that's why I said, you know, over the course of the next 2 weeks, I think we'll be at 37 cents mark, because typically it does take about 2 weeks for scale to get to the next fib extension level. But if we do have a massive run up for Bitcoin, then I think that this bad boy could at the top reach this 43 cents mark.
You know, but when we get in,
Bitcoin.
yeah, but when we get into Bitcoin, man, you know, all bets are
Yeah.
off, because as goes Bitcoin, so goes the market, man. I mean, you want to talk about the doom of the average TA is Bitcoin, because that there ain't no predicting Bitcoin, man. It goes up, it goes down, and the market tends to go with it. So, you know what? I'll tell you what, man. I'll hedge you just a little bit. All things being considered, meaning that if the market holds the way it's holding currently, we will honor your prediction. If Bitcoin goes to 21,000, all bets are off, and you were completely forgiven. Wasn't your fault. All right, man. Take it back, baby. It's your show.
All right, cool. Next, let's hop into WinLink. Now, this is something that Scott had made a podcast about.
Wait a minute. Before you hit this one, man, before you hit it hard, out of every video that we've put out here at the podcast, man, I have never had one that simply lost subscribers. We gained, it's the first one I looked at when I looked at the analytics that said minus. We lost 22 subscribers from this video. This one alone, negative 22. You know what? I don't care. I'm happy I did it, because I believe in human nature, and human nature likes to gamble. So that's where I'm going to put it. All right, man, take it away.
Okay, cool. I think we can do a pretty simple TA with this one, right? We do have our bottom right here at this is like fractions of a pennies going, what, 3 zeros and 2. And, you know, right now, I think we hit our resistance zone on August 11th. Yeah, it makes makes good sense, because we do have previous support right here that turned into resistance. So ultimately, we want to get above that. And our next targeted area would be right here at the 0.001 level, right? So if we zoom in just a little bit, right, ideally, we'll take our paintbrush. Ideally, you know, we want to get above here, turn that into support before we continue to move upwards, right? But right now on the charts, we can see that, you know, we're almost putting in what looks like a, you know, a bullish pennant, right? If we conduct those lines a little bit, we may be able to see a small pennant structure forming here, which is bullish, right? Letting us know that this trend will continue, but we can confirm that by zooming in and looking at the intraday charts to see what's going on. And what do? What do you know? We have a little bull flag forming. So, you know, I think that we'll be pulling back just a little bit more. We'll go ahead and extend our trend lines there. I think that we'll be pulling back just a little bit more. We don't know how far, you know, the pullback will last, but, you know, ultimately we do know that this flag is forming. And as long as we continue to respect it, it's only a matter of time before, you know, we have some movement like this, we get above the bull flag resistance level, and then we shoot to the upside, right? This, just following this to the next fib extension level, right? From the time we break out of this bull flag, going up to the next fib extension level, that is a 121% gain, right? In the short term.
Let me ask you this, man. What was the price 2 days ago? What was the price 2 days ago? 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Let's go.
Yep.
All right. 1, 2. On the 11th, we had a high of 0.0008.
Okay. What is the price? What is the price right now?
Right now?
Yep.
The price is currently 0.0007.
Okay. So is that good or bad?
I mean, in my opinion, you know, this is a slight pullback. I think this is healthy, especially, you know, if anybody did buy at the bottom of this bad boy, coming up to where the price currently is right now, you're already up 166%.
We're trying to help here, guys. That's all I'm saying, man. Is we're trying to help. If I put out a video, there's maybe a reason. All right, carry it on, man.
Okay, cool. Last but not least, let's take a look at audio. Now, this is something that Scott actually asked me to pull up today. And, you know, I'm super glad that TradingView has this, because Sometimes they don't have, some of the newest cryptos or even some of the older ones, but this is one that I was really happy to see, especially since it has such a unique use case. So, just kind of zooming out and looking at this bad boy, we did have this massive decline like the rest of the DeFi market. We'll probably the same thing with this one, right? Some typical TA. So, we do have our bottom right here, and we did hit some resistance right here, which makes sense because, this was previously support that flipped into resistance as well. But, our next stop, if we manage to get above that, will be at the $3 mark, right? So we take a look at what's going on right here. We do see that, we put in a higher low from this previous low and a higher high. And again, we have another higher low with another higher high. Again, higher lows and higher highs is something that you always want to look for before getting into markets or before entering the trade. And currently, we have these long wicks at the top, which is letting us know that there is some selling pressure, right? And that makes sense because we came up to, this next fib extension level, right? So if we use our trend line and sort of draw this bad boy out, right? Again, it almost looks like we had a bullish pennant forming, right? Which is a bullish indicator letting us know that the trend will continue, right? And we can further verify this by looking at the intraday charts, looking at the 4-hour, and it pretty much does look like we have this, bullish pennant forming, right? So it's been respecting this. Boom. Let's draw our other line right here. Boom. And this is letting us know that on the intraday, we do have a bull flag. So right here, currently we're zooming just a little bit so you guys can see, right? We've been respecting this, bouncing off the support and the resistance of the bull flag. So, I expect us to pull back maybe just a little bit more. We can sort of measure this out if we want to. Let's go ahead and turn our magnet on. So from the time we started to impulse up to the resistance, we've actually pulled back to the fib 786. So I think we're actually due for, a reversal to the upside, right? I think that over the next couple of days, maybe the next couple of hours, we may break above the resistance of this bull flag, move sideways for a little bit before we go up to, the previous resistance that we hit at the $1.74 mark. And then we'll probably move up to, our $3 mark, right? So measuring this move out from where current price is, that would be a 109% gain. So I think that, in the short term, this is a great trade, especially if you want to, capitalize off your investment, or if you have a capital trading account. This is definitely where you want to take profit at the $3 mark. And
I gotta
wait until we move sideways.
I gotta put you on the spot again, man. Where do you see it in 2 weeks? Put that little
Uh,
flag up there, put your cursor up there, and show me where you think it's gonna be in 2 weeks.
Let's measure this out to see, how this market moves. Let's get
Yeah.
2 weeks on. 2 weeks
Yeah.
right here. Okay, so 2 weeks, this market typically moves. It's moving pretty slow. In 2 weeks, we've only gone up 35%.
Only.
So only 35%. So let's apply that same methodology, right?
Mm-hmm.
And go up 35% for the next 14 days. I think, in the next 2 weeks, we could be at $2 even.
All right. Now, I'm not asking where we could be. I'm asking you to tell me where it's going to be. No TA dodge, man. I want you to tell me where it's going to be. We're going to make you famous, or we're going to bust you out right here. Come on. Let's do this, babe. Come on. Where is it going to be? Give Belle a number. She's going to write it down, and we are going to make you famous.
Okay. 2 weeks. We're being modest. We're going to be at the $2.50 mark.
Really? You think it's going there?
$2.50. That is midway between our next stop and breaking above this resistance zone that we're in right now.
All right, Belle, write it down, man. I happen look
$2.50.
The reason that we've been doing this here on the podcast, reason we went out and got DTA, is because AMP right now, there ain't no other way to say it, but it's boring. All right, it's been trading sideways for how long now? A couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, man. This
Yeah.
thing is just flat. It is absolutely flat. It's a long-term use token that's not getting used. I understand speculative bumps. I get it. All right, we've all been there. We saw Bitcoin. We saw all this stuff. But there is a world of opportunity out here, an absolute world of opportunity. The reason I brought this one up specific for my audience, because I want to know, have you guys ever even heard of this one? Are you familiar with it? This is not even listed on big exchanges. It's not on Coinbase, Binance. It's not on any of these things. All right, this is a DeFi that has got a fully liquidated $1.6 billion market cap. So we're not talking about a tiny little token here. You know, a little 30, 40 million, like 40 million is not a lot of money. But we're not talking about a little babe in the woods here. We are talking about something that has got a value, fully diluted value of 1.6 billion. This thing isn't going away. I strongly recommend that you take a look at it, that you read their white paper, that if you are looking for something that might have a little bit more action, you're not cheating on AMP. All right, when we push out our other videos, we're not doing this to... I don't want to go on record with it. You know what? I will. These are the ones that we see very positive use case out of, that we see positive things happen out of. I do my research. I dig down, all the way down. And I'm not going to splash something up on our screen, on the podcast screen, that I am not invested in. I'm not telling you to. I'm telling you that I am. That's it. So I don't lose a lot. That's all I'm saying, man. I don't lose often. Everybody takes one in the shorts occasionally, man. This is crypto. But I don't lose that much. I don't lose that much. So what we're trying to do is let you guys know that instead of sitting here patiently waiting, you can make some profit on some of these other tokens. And you know what? Realize that profit by AMP. By AMP. I will always say realize profit by AMP. The whole idea behind realizing profit is so that you can build your long-term holdings free of charge. Free of charge. Take advantage of it, man. It's all right here. We're not bringing you that stuff. We're not doing this to try to, show off or just to hit a lot of tokens. We only give you tokens that we absolutely believe in. And I have yet to pitch a single thing on this channel that is lost money. It just hasn't, man. That's all we're saying. All right, you got anything else, DTA? Are you ready to go back to your video? I want to see if this transfer screen works.
I mean, this is all I have from a TA perspective, but just kind of piggybacking off of what you said, to the audience, there's nothing wrong with, realizing gains or profits from other tokens. Like Scott said, you're not cheating. There's a difference between having diamond hands and compounding and realizing gains. So, make sure that you have, your long-term portfolio as well as, your short-term portfolio, or, even a capital account that you use to trade different currencies. So that way you can have more capital to, contribute to your long-term portfolio. Just sort of, start forward thinking about what you want to do and how you want your portfolio to look 10 to 20 years from now, right? Really take some time and put some thought into it, because, the diamond hand strategy, it does work, right, for the long term, but also think about what do you want to do in the short term. Right?
Wait a minute, man. You're talking
in about 1 month.
Hang on,
so.
DTA. I'm cutting you off, man. You're talking behind your chart. Let them see your face when you're going philosophical, man. Bring your face up here. Let me see it.
There we go. So we just stopped sharing our charts. Hopefully you guys can see me.
Nope, not yet. Hang on. Keep talking. I'll fix it. We
Yeah.
had this, man, but it doesn't work anymore. So 1 second. There you go. All right, man. Take it away. If you're going to get philosophical, let them see your expression. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on, babe. Carry on, man.
But really, I just want you guys to, start thinking about what you want your portfolio to look like, 10 to 20 to 50 years from now, right? We are early in this cryptocurrency space. Legislation is still being, described around it. We are the early adapters. So, in retrospect, think about the internet. The internet is only 53 years old. It went through the same thing cryptocurrency is going through. The denial, the criticism, the legislation, right? How it's going to be taxed. The same thing. The more things change, the more things stay the same, right? So the internet is only 53 years old, and now we have global adoption for it. how quick do you think it's going to take for, the global economy to adopt crypto? We've sort of been adapting it at a quicker rate than the internet's adoption. And that's because we have more technology available and accessible to the average person, right? So this information can be acquired quickly,
Does internet
right?
porn
The
know you're
news,
cheating
it
on it?
spreads quickly, right? So just start to think about that. How do you want your portfolio to look? And how do you want to create generational wealth, not only for you, but for your family and your loved ones, right? Having these selfless acts will set you up for success and give you perspectives outside of yourself so that way you can properly plan around it.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say generational wealth, man. Look, I don't disclose my holdings to everybody. You guys know I don't do that. But I'm 50 years old right now. I have been profitable enough in this that I can walk away and you will never see me again on the face of you will. That's it, man. He was that guy that did that channel for a little bit. All right. I don't need to do this anymore. It ain't about me. It's not about me. It's about changing the lives of my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. Being a whale. That's really where it is right now, man. And you could call it greed. I'm fine with it, man, because when you're talking about money, I am 100% Gordon Gekko. All right? Greed is good. Greed is what builds nations. All right? It doesn't that's what it takes. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of going for it. But I'm also a big fan of going for it smartly, pragmatically. Deal with the reality and deal with the now. All right, speculation is great. That's fun, and you know what? I even recommend that you set aside a couple percent, 3, 4, 5%, just to play with, because you never know. So it's not a terrible thing, man. You know, because it's a smaller amount, doesn't really matter, but that's the way that you have to think about this. I am in my biggest single holding is AMP. If I dumped all my AMP right now, you would know. He would be going nuts trying to figure out what the hell just happened. If I dumped it all right now, you would notice. But it ain't about that. It is about the fact that I believe in this thing so strongly, that the idea is so good. It's so revolutionary. It is an old idea being applied to blockchain. All right, gold-backed pay rails. This is not new. It's not a new idea. This is what built society. They're just doing it digitally now. How could I say that it was such a good idea 600 years ago, but now all of a sudden it's not? It's not a good idea now. That ain't it. That ain't it for this one. So I take advantage. I do realize profits, and I buy more and more and more AMP, because this is what changes generations for you. This is not financial. I have to do it. Hang on, man. There's the screen. This is not financial advice. I am telling you what I am doing. That's it. I am not telling you how to spend your money. I don't care how you spend your money. But if you're watching our channel, there's got to be a reason. And maybe I'm not that interesting, man. I'm just not that interesting that we could get 50, 60. I mean, we've had over 100 people watching this at one time. I'm not that interesting. So you have to be curious about something. And I assume that's curious. What am I doing? I'm telling you what I'm doing. DTA is telling you what he's doing. So there it is. All right, DTA, you got 60 seconds, then we're going to break, man. You want to get Jerry Springer on him? Go for it.
No Jerry Springer tonight, but
No.
just again, guys, just understand what it means to realize your gains and realize your profits as opposed to unrealized profits, right? So realizing your profits means that you took profit, right? You actually paid yourself. That goes back to the old saying, pay yourself first. Unrealized gains is, you seen your portfolio go up 10x, but you didn't pull out. So now it's not 10x anymore. It may be 1x, it may be 2x, but you could have realized it, or you could have took profit at that 10x point, right? I think that understanding the psychology of market cycles and how the candle structures typically appear is way more important than hopping into speculative markets, or hopping into things just for the fun of it. Some people do it. Shema Palapalatia, he hopped into the GameStop market when things were going crazy then, but understand what he did. He was only in that market for about 4 hours before he took profit. He realized his profits, right? A whale hopped in 4 hours later, took profits, and then what did he do? he donated all of those gains to charity, right? So, he understood what was going on. He understood, the retail market's reason for, shorting the hedge funds, and he took advantage of that. He didn't just hop in without doing any due diligence, guys. So, again, just take the time to do your due diligence before you hop into, any market or make any investments. Understand the fundamentals, understand who the players are, and then make your decisions. So that's
There
what
you
I
go.
want to leave you all with.
Yeah, man, we'll take it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was TA by DTA. Please give us 60 seconds. We're coming back. Belle, do we have questions?
We do have a few questions, yes.
There we go. Only a few. We've been talking a damn hour, and we only have a few questions. Podcasters, what happened to you? Guys used to pin me down with your questions. Now we're only getting a few of them. All right. Look, guys, please give us 60 seconds. We will be right back. DTA, if you want to hang around, those questions might be for you. We will be right back with your questions.
We'll be right
All
back.
right.
Thank you for giving us a break. Belle, the floor is yours. What you got?
Little Daddy 391, what do you think of REQ just listed on Coinbase? They look like they're trying to get in the AMP space. Also just glanced at the white papers.
Wait a minute, your video is frozen. DTA, say something.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. We got it back. Now her video froze up. Not a big deal. What do I know about it? Nothing. I haven't even looked at it yet. I have not even taken a glance. Have you looked at it, DTA? Don't do it and then come back like that, man. Do you know about it right this second?
Oh, no. I have
Okay.
no idea about this.
Belle,
coin.
please write it down. We will certainly look into it. Next question, please. I'm not trying to be cavalier, guys, but there are like 10, 11,000 cryptos. I am not a savant on all of them. So, but if you are curious, it makes us curious, and we will certainly dig in. I thank you for the tip. Belle, please carry on.
A13J. So I've been thinking if I use Gemini Pay app, is that helping AMP movement?
Yeah, AMP moves on usage. We know this. All right. The white paper describes this. We see it. The fact that this thing is effectively, I don't want to say it. I keep getting beat up for this, but this thing is effectively, it's not moving with the market. I see that as a positive, a huge positive, because that means it's starting to stand on its own legs. Now, we won't know for sure until Bitcoin takes a big dump. But if Bitcoin, say, drops down to 38, 36,000 and AMP is still holding at 6 cents, I like to think that there is a lot of strength to the argument that we're making right now that this thing is, in effect, starting to decouple, starting to become its own entity. It is a company that uses crypto, but not a crypto company. So it would make sense that it begins to decouple because it is legacy world facing. So we won't know until it does, until Bitcoin dumps. Now, what do we do know for an absolute fact? Bitcoin will. It always does, man. Bitcoin will go up. It will go down. Every TA on the planet right now is absolutely in love with it. I'm waiting for it because we're still in a bear, man. All right, this is a little bubble, but we are still in a bear. Bitcoin will. It's gonna do it again. So if AMP is still sitting at 6 cents when it does, then we know. Then we know. But to answer your question, yes, every purchase that you make through on Gemini Pay or through the Spend app, The 0.5% merchant transaction fee, it goes onto the Flexa network. They go to the open market. They purchase dollar for dollar that exact amount of AMP from the open market. They take it and they put it onto the Flexa network. It's going to take millions of transactions to really start seriously moving the needle. But please keep in mind that all of these partnerships are not implemented yet. They have been announced, but announcing them and putting them to work are two different things. It's like I said to Emory, passing a law and enforcing a law are two radically different things. So that's kind of the state that we're in right now. Belle, your video froze up again. Next question. Yes. Okay, there he goes. I think if you don't move, it freezes up. So carry on, Belle. What you got?
All right, Crypto Texan dropped a comment saying Chairman Z would like to speak with you about your recent negative comments on ACH. I'm going to take that one, actually. Well,
okay, go ahead.
Crypto Texan, you can tell Chairman Z that he can email us. Our emails are right on the screen.
Why does your video keep screwing up, Belle? You know what? I'm taking it down. That's distracting, but you guys know she's there. Yeah, you know, I've came pretty clear where I am on ACH, and I disclosed in that very first video I made, I have not dug into the white paper yet. I skimmed it. Skimming it and reading it are two radically different things, because when I read it, I will read the paragraph, I will reread it, and I will do it a third time to make sure that I am interpreting it the same way all three times. When I do, now I've read it, now I've digested it, now I'm ready. The farther I got into that white paper, the less I liked it. And as soon as I got to data harvesting, done. You guys go do you. I got some angry comments, man. I had to pull a couple of them off the site, man. It was bringing no value to the debate that you're trying to compare like data harvesting on Facebook or Google, which yes, they do that. And no, I don't use Facebook. I don't use Google. I stay away from them, but that's personal choice. I'm not judging what you do. I'm saying what I do. I stay away from that as much as I possibly can. But to even suggest for a fact that because Google does it, it's okay for my bank to do it or for anything else, particularly blockchain, where it absolutely does not belong. DeFi is private, anonymous. This is the antithesis of DeFi. And I'm supposed to come on board with this because people are going to make money? No, absolutely not. My morals will not. I will tank this entire channel. It's gone that quick. I'll take it down and I don't care. I won't look back. I will not have anything to do with that. You cannot get a little bit pregnant. All right? You either are or you're not. So you are either offering anonymity or you are absolutely not. ACH is going the other way. They are advertising it. They are selling it as a feature. I hang out on that ACH live stream just to watch the comments. It makes me sad. It makes me absolutely sad that you are rooting for this. I'm absolutely stunned. Sometimes it really tears me up. But bring on Chairman Z. I would love to have him on the channel because because he's going to pay attention to a little nub of a YouTube channel. But I would absolutely love to, because I want to say, how do you justify this? For you guys, it's a big boon. It ain't coming to America. You're dead wrong if you think that is coming here. Never happen. Belle, carry on, please.
All right. And when DTA was talking about audio, E-Man Name was asking the question, what does it do?
Audience, it's wonderful. If there's a reason that I have Theta TV up here, because it is blockchain peer-to-peer video sharing. Audience is blockchain peer-to-peer music sharing. My audience is a little bit young. You guys are probably, according to my own analytics, you're a little bit young. You may have heard of something called Napster, but you probably weren't there when you probably never utilized Napster. It was just something that you heard about. This is music sharing, but it is kind of a music sharing platform. I mean, you're not going to download the latest song, of some artist from some label and post it up there and it's okay. It's not that. This is for all of the musicians and artists and so forth that actually don't have labels. It's giving them a place to post their music. And for people to come up and listen to it, not from a YouTube standpoint, but from a decentralized peer-to-peer transfer standpoint. I love this. The same reason that I watch Theta TV whenever I can, because if we don't support these projects will go away. But this is one that's not going away, because this is a little sleeper, non-large exchange listed company with a fully liquidated market value of $1.6 billion. This is not a little babe in the woods. This is the biggest thing you've never heard of. I'm a big fan. Belle, were we playing some music before the show went live?
Oh, yeah, we were.
Where was I pulling that music? Straight off Marty's. Straight off Mitt. It is a wonderful program, and even if you don't purchase their crypto, support their product. It is a good product. Download the app. I'm just saying, I like anything that is legacy world facing. I love anything that will endorse and embrace blockchain and show what you can do with it. Use case, proof of concept, huge fan. This is one of those. So that's the reason that's on there. That's the reason I asked DTA to please cover it. The fact that it's doing well is irrelevant. I just think it's a great product. Belle, please carry on.
Jesus is God, and this one's directed at DTA, actually. Can you do Fetch AI? I'm thinking that'd be a great one for next week.
Oh yeah, Fetch AI is definitely a project that I'm fond of. So I think next week we can definitely put that on a TA for anybody else that's interested in it.
Let me ask you all this. Did you love it when I made the video for Fetch? Because very few of you watched it. I'm only mentioning it because when I was doing it, Fetch was 18 cents. This is a good product. Belle and I sit there and we wargame it. We talk about what it can do. I love wargaming. And I said the same thing about ACH. They must have been a fly on the wall in the Flexa boardroom when we were wargaming all the things that AMP can do. We did the same thing with Fetch, talking about all the things that it can do. This is going to be one of those that you've never heard of, know nothing about, but your life is changed because of it. This is a good product. The fact that you can profit on it is the icing on the cake. But this is a good product. Yeah, man, you want to cover Fetch? I really wish you would have done it when we were originally talking about it, because nobody watched the video. They gave us a shout out, didn't they, Belle?
They did. They gave us a shout out on Twitter.
Oh wow! Congrats.
Yeah. Well, no, somebody in their development team saw the video and they gave us a shout out on Twitter, because Fetch was great and it was hot at a time, and every crypto review channel in the world did Fetch. They all just hit it, but they got bored with it. They walked away. I only pitch products that I own. I only pitch products where I think there is a value. I don't. Am I shilling? I don't even know anymore. I'll ask the podcast audience. Am I shilling? I'm just telling you what I don't even know anymore, man. Because as soon as you say something and it goes up, you're like, oh, you're just shilling it. I'm not, man. I'm telling you about it if you're not familiar with it. All right. I'm sorry, Belle. Please carry on. I took DTA's time, man.
All right, next question comes from A13J. If I buy Gemini Dollar and spend it on Gemini Pay, does that grow AMP?
Yeah. Next question, please.
Mario Angelo, what's your favorite crypto?
Oh, man. Are you asking me or DTA? I'll tell you what. DTA is our guest. I'm going to let DTA go first. You can only pick one. DTA, what is it?
I mean, hands down, my favorite crypto is my biggest bag, and my biggest bag is AMP. We all know, where AMP's going in the future. Universal use case.
Hang on. I'm going to caveat the question. Look, my favorite is AMP. I'm on record. Belle's favorite is AMP. We're all on record. Your favorite crypto that is not AMP. You can only pick one.
My favorite crypto that is not AMP.
Yeah.
I think I will have to go with, the king, Bitcoin. Right?
Bitcoin.
It's the reason why we have this cryptocurrency space. Shout out to Satoshi, right?
Yeah. No. I get all that, man. But your favorite token is a speculative token.
For now.
Okay, no. That's cool. Hey, man, this is an opinion editorial channel. You cannot be wrong here. All right, Belle, your turn. What is your favorite crypto that is not AMP?
Ooh, I'd have to say storage.
Storage. I love me some storage. That one's a hot one for me because I know what it takes to store data. And you see a little thumb drive and that's all great. But we're talking about storing massive, shockingly high volumes of data with a number that's so large we can't even define it. I mean, we haven't invented a word for the amount that's up there. So yeah. I am a big fan. If you were to ask Scott, I think he was asking me. I don't know. If you were to ask Scott, which one do I think is going to be revolutionizing the space more than anything else? More than anything else. The one thing that I think will revolutionize the DeFi and crypto as we know it, I will say scale. That's my number 2. That is the one that is going to be revolutionizing everything. And it's tough to pitch that because developer stuff is not exciting. I know, because when I make the videos, they do not get watched. Developer stuff is not exciting, but this is what makes all of this work. This is what makes it come together. And I'm going to put it right there. It would be a close second. Fetch would be a close third, but I'm going to say scale. Our all number 1 is AMP. You can't ask us that question. We're all going to say AMP. We've explained why. Bell, next question, please.
Nice noise. Cardano is releasing smart contracts. What does that mean exactly? What are the benefits?
Oh, man. Cardano is... I'm a pragmatist. This is tough for me. All right? It really, really is tough for me because I'm a pragmatist. I have to deal with what exists and not what I wish would exist. If I could roll back the clock 5 years ago, roll it back 5 years, I would have been whispering in the ear of one particular gentleman who works so hard on Ethereum and then has pivoted over and is working just as hard on Cardano. And I would have told him, your other idea, the one that you're not implementing, is the better idea. Cardano is the better idea. It is the better rail. It absolutely is. But again, from the problem with it is I have to deal with the reality and not what I wish. So Cardano is putting out smart contracts, yes. So that is going to enable more cryptos to exist on the Cardano network. That's what a smart contract is. It's how it's going to be processed. But from a realistic standpoint, man, look, Cardano is not in the same league as Ethereum. We could all wish it was, but it's not. It's not to say that it won't be or that there isn't enough room for 2 of these, because I absolutely believe there is. There's Ethereum tokens, there's Binance tokens, there's Cardano. There is all of that, so there is room. And as the DeFi grows, people are going to be able to pick. Do I want the Ford? Do I want the Chevy? Do I want the import? They're going to be able to pick. But right now, effectively everybody is on Ethereum. So I have to embrace that. As opposed to what I want. I mean, you guys make me go real philosophical here, man. I don't like to do that. You know what? I'll come back around. I'll give you a better answer on that. Belle, please carry on.
Charlie Hustle, what does the Alchemy Pay partnerships with Visa and MasterCard mean for AMP?
Means dick. Oh, did I just demonetize this? I didn't.
I think you might have.
I think I did. You guys know that I've been hanging out an awful lot on the ACH live stream, the chart, because I find it hysterical. Do you ever get over there, DTA? Do you ever go take a look at that? Did he leave?
Not too often. Not too often.
Okay. But you know what, man? It will absolutely make your day. Just go over there, watch this thing sit flatly at 9 cents as it continues to drop down, and just read the comments. Just absolutely read the comments. Their big push is that... No, their big stupid push is that, they're going to partner with Visa. They're going to do all this shit. All they're doing is what BitPay is doing, what PayPal is doing, what all these other people are doing. You got to convert it to fiat, put it on a Visa card, and look, now we can spend it. It's like spending crypto. Like spending crypto and spending crypto are different things. All right? They're not the same sport. I don't know how many different times I can go over this, but they are not the free... They're just not the same sport. But the bulk of these ACH investors, they have no damn idea what they're in. They haven't read the white paper. They don't care. It was exciting. It went to 24. It's going back there any day now. Any day, it's just going to come flying back. They have no idea what they're in, so they are just hungry for any little bit piece of information. It's the same way that the AMP community reacts every time Visa has a press release. They tell you nothing, and we FUD right down. This is what we might do. Dude, anybody can do it. I can type up a press release. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means that it's being reported. You're going to know when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen because eventually they're going to have to release details. There's a reason that they are vague because they don't want to tell you that they have no damn idea how to do what AMP and Flexa are doing unless they do it exactly that way. They have no idea. Now, ACH is doing it fundamentally the same way. But I'm going to keep with my original, I guess, diss on it. It's a Chinese knockoff, man. All right. It's not. They fundamentally it's the same, but making it work is going to be something. It's going to be something just completely different. You cannot put so many eggs in a single basket and not have that basket bust, and that's really where we're at on that. I hope that answer. DTA, you're nodding like you got something you want to add, man. Take it away, dude.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, the fact that ACH is really data harvesting, that just leaves me with one thought. Right? You have a single point of failure. That's it.
And every time I say that, man, I say, look, you cannot put everything in there, man, because that is one single breakdown away from the entire network just going, pfft. There's a reason.
Yeah.
Look, we've talked about this on here, guys. What blows AMP out? What blows AMP out is when more individual entities build on AMP. That's where it goes. That's when, boom, off it goes. ACH is trying to do everything that AMP can do, but they're trying to put it on a single server, on a single disk, man. And nope, it's got nothing but bad news written all over it. There's a reason that it's called decentralized. There's a reason because there's a huge advantage in decentralized. They are doing everything the DeFi does. It's like it's a mirror image of it. So we spread it out, they pull it all in. It's just not a good idea, man. If it would have worked, they would have done it already.
Yep.
Bell, carry on, please.
All right, Charlie Hustle again. Have you seen the possible Flexa partnerships on Reddit with Bank of America, Delta Airlines, and other major companies?
Yeah, and again, I heard Tyler. I saw the Tyler's interview, and I heard him talking about it. You know what? I cannot attack one for making a press release, but embrace another for doing it. It's one thing to say it, it's another to bring it to fruition. So I believe that they probably are in talks. But until we get any details, man, it's like Visa saying we're going to take over the entire crypto pay market. All right, how are you going to do it? Well, you'll know when we get there. I try to be consistent on here, guys. That's really all it is. I'm certainly wishing him well. And your video is frozen up again, Bell. I certainly wish him well, but until we get some details coming out, man, that's all it is. It's just a press release. I know you guys want to hear different from me, but I've got to give you my truth. Talking about it and doing it are two different things. So when they start doing it, big fan, and I promise you I'll report on it. But until that happens, it's just people talking. Terrible answer.
Right.
I'm sorry, but it is honest.
And DTA, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember the first time I actually stumbled upon Flexa back in 2019. I think it was around January, right? The article that I was reading was talking about, how the Flexa network is partnering with Whole Foods, 40 other thousand global merchants, as well as banks. Now, the interesting thing about that article, and I don't have it saved, you can probably Google it or something like that. But the interesting thing about that article is that Whole Foods was the only merchant mentioned verbatim explicitly in the article. And, over time, we've seen more merchants explicitly say that they're partnering with Flexa, who is now, AMP. But the one thing, going back to that article that I read, the one thing that hasn't been explicitly named are the bank partnerships, right? So I think that, Flexa, they are really intentional in what they do to, keep the hype down as much as possible, because this isn't a token meant to experience higher volatility. Right?
You
I
guys
think
have
that
you've
those
watched.
banking partnerships are inevitable.
Yeah.
So
But you guys have
I
been
think it's only
watching.
a matter of time before we get this announcement.
Y'all been watching my videos, man. You know where I stand on this. Talking about it and
Mhm.
doing it are radically different things. You want stability in your network. You want stability in a financial network. Who is going to want to put money in something that is doing this but is using collateral? Because how do you know how much collateral you have tomorrow? You don't. It needs to be stable. It's designed to be stable. It's not exciting. It's practically developer stuff now, which is never exciting, but it is necessary for it to function the way that it is functioning. So, all right, Belle, you know what? We ran long. You get one more question, and then we are done. So take it away.
All right. Mario Angelo is wanting to know your top 5 coins.
Well, they're right there, man. We don't hide anything. We don't keep any mysteries. Everything that I really, really like, that I believe in, that is going to that has most of my money is sitting right there. Scale, Amp, Orchid, Bat, Storage, Anchor, Fetch, and New Cipher. Big fan of every single one of them. They all have my money. So yeah, I don't keep anything secret, man. It's all right there. All right, Belle.
I will point out that you're getting a few people a little confused because ACH is still on your ticker, and I know.
Oh,
you
no.
don't like ACH.
No, that's not a love thing. That's so that you guys can see the price. That's it. This is not something that I love. This is something that I have to accept as fact. I'm a pragmatist. You're talking about two tokens that are in direct competition with each other. All right. This is Billie Jean King and McEnroe. All right. Nobody knows that reference. Why do I throw these out, man? It dates me. Like, laugh at me, man. Look, these are direct competitors. All right. The success of one will, in fact, affect the success of the other. It will. So I put that up as informational, but you know what? And you're going to have a good time when you see that ACH one is lower than that AMP one. That's the reason I have it up there. These are the ones that I like. ACH is up there specifically because we are an AMP channel, and that's a direct competitor of AMP. For me to ignore it, completely ignore it, would not be doing justice to you guys. That's really it. That's why it's up there. All right, Belle, I am going on mute. Your video is just sucking tonight. I'm taking you off. I'm going on mute. Belle, you got 2 minutes. Talk us up. Talk us out, guys. I've had a ball. DTA, did you enjoy the trip tonight?
Oh yeah, tonight was hella fun, guys. And yes, I said hella fun.
We're
going to continue to have this.
We're already we're already demonetized, man. I ain't sweating that one. All right, Belle, I'm going on mute. Take it away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us on tonight's live stream, I really do hope you guys got a lot out of it from both Emory and DTA. Emory is more than happy to come back anytime you guys want him, and DTA, sorry, but you're stuck with us, man. Now, we will be back on Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time at our normal channel of 7 p.m. And we definitely are gonna have more apple juice. It's Saturday night. We do have fun with it. And if we do, again, we hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and we will see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.